Hello, everyone. Today, I just want to go over my thoughts on the Star Wars movie in theaters, The Mandalorian and Grogu. While going into the movie, I definitely wasn't the most excited for it, and I think it's because I think The Mandalorian has lost its direction. So The Mandalorian pretty much goes Mandalorian Season 1, Mandalorian Season 2, The Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3, and now we have the movie. And I think while Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 were very good, I think The Book of Boba Fett is where uh, it started to lose its direction. And I did not really like The Book of Boba Fett, and I certainly did not like Mandalorian Season 3. There were a lot of things about it that I absolutely hated, and there are some weaker episodes in that season. So going into the movie, I wasn't necessarily excited, but I was hoping it might be better than what we've seen recently. Overall, I think after watching the movie, I was hoping it would be fun, like a fun movie, kind of like Solo. I think Solo was a fun movie, and I think The Mandalorian and Grogu was also kind of a fun movie after watching it. And I do think it was a step up in the right direction. I think it was definitely better than The Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian Season 3. But obviously it's not better than Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. That's obvious. I wasn't expecting it to be better. But I do think the movie was alright. It was fun. And I do think I can watch the Mandalorian and Grogu movie without getting mad, because I know there were a few times in the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian Season 3 where I did get mad. Because like I said, there were things I absolutely hated about those seasons. But the Mandalorian and Grogu, I thought for the most part was alright, and I definitely think it's a movie that you don't necessarily need to watch anything before to watch it, which is good. That means you could probably watch just the movie and for the most part still know what's going on. So that's a good thing about the movie. That's definitely what the Book of Boba Fett should have been, where you don't need to watch the other Mandalorian stuff to watch the show. The Book of Boba Fett should have been its own thing. So I'm glad that the Mandalorian and Grogu didn't make that same mistake. But like I said, the movie's alright. It's kind of fun, but the plot's very simple. I don't think there's anything necessarily very special about the movie. It does have some good action scenes, and I was pretty entertained throughout the entire movie. It's certainly not a top tier Star Wars movie. I wasn't expecting it to be when I went into the theaters. I thought that it could not beat some of the other better movies, and I'm not surprised of the result. I think it's just a fun movie like Solo, and I wonder where this is going to be going in the direction, but for The Mandalorian, because I don't think the movie really did anything big with the characters like The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't think they did anything big with their characters, and it kind of just ended with them not really making much effort to become different characters or whatever. It's just the same characters, and so it really didn't feel like it was needed. You could probably say it certainly did not need to be a movie. I definitely heard that people think that this should have or could have just, it was just part of the Mandalorian show. It could have easily just been a couple episodes in season 4, and well, I kind of agree with that. I don't think this necessarily needed to be a movie. I think The Mandalorian should just be staying as a show and stop going to different shows and movies to connect with it. But like I said, I think the movie was fine. I enjoyed it for the most part. I was pretty entertained. And if you guys are interested in watching the movie, I would say give it a shot, make your own opinion. Obviously, this is a movie where you're gonna have to decide whether it's you like it or you think it's just garbage, another garbage movie. But I think it was fun. I think some people are gonna bash on this movie though. I think there's gonna be some people who are gonna treat very harshly on this movie. I don't want to be that person. I think it's just alright, but I don't think it's anything amazing. But it's an alright watch, and it's a fun time. And I think the movie was alright, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys like this review, maybe I'll do some other Star Wars shows and movies. Thank you for watching.